Hey guys, Tammy here, and in this video we're going to talk about the lower leg muscles. We're going to actually talk about lengthening and strengthening. Now we have two sides of our lower legs, of course, well, four sides, but we're going to talk about the front and the back. The back muscles are ones that you know well. They're your calf muscles, and they're probably super strong. We spend a lot of time with our heels elevated, whether it's because we have thick-soled shoes, whether we've been in high heels for a portion of our days or life, whether we're on our toes for different things. So we tend to have strong calf muscles. They also tend to be tighter, and we want to get them a little bit more relaxed and lengthened. Hey, kitty. We also tend to have, consequently, weaker shin muscles, or your tibialis anterior muscles. That's the muscles in the front of the lower leg. And those muscles are necessary for lifting the toes up, which is super essential for fall prevention, right? It's also essential for ankle mobility and being able to get off the ground if we should be on the ground, having good gait, a good walk, good stride, and just overall general health. It's great for our legs to have nice, strong tibialis anterior muscles or the shin muscles, and have a balanced, lengthened calf muscle, not just a strong contracted calf muscle. So let's work on those muscles. Now, the simplest thing to do to strengthen your shin muscles is to lift your toes. Now, I'm sitting on a chair. Best way to do it, sit on a chair, come to the front of the chair so you're not leaning back if possible, and just start lifting those toes. Lift, lift, lift. Maybe one or the other if that feels more comfortable for you. Don't overthink it. Just start lifting your toes. Your heels stay on the ground. Lift, lift, lift. I would recommend doing it at least 100 times a day. No, I'm not kidding. You probably sit down plenty of times throughout the day. So every time you sit down, try to be aware to just lift your toes up. Lift your toes up. At first count, you'll be surprised how easy it is to get to 100 repetitions. Now, that's the best way to strengthen your tibialis anterior muscles. We can add weights and different things later on, but right now let's start with this and getting the habit of constantly lifting up those toe muscles, or those toes. Now next we're going to talk about our calves because we want to have balance between here and here. And we're going to do a calf strengthener and lengthener because our calves tend to be pretty tight. And we can do a kind of a work toward lengthening them more through a strengthener. Sounds weird, but let me show you what I mean. Heels on the ground, and I've just put this resistance band underneath the ball of my foot. Now you can use a towel, you can use a different resistance band, you can use a strap, whatever it is you want. You don't have to overthink that. We just have to have the heel down and something underneath the ball of our foot that we can press into. And so let's just do what I just said, press into it. Arms are just gonna hold the anchor, the side is an anchor, and you're gonna push your toe into the ground. Your heel is down, you're pressing your toe into the ground, so there is actual work happening in your leg muscles. I can feel that in almost every muscle of my leg. My quad and my calves especially. Now I'm gonna hold for about 5 seconds, then I'm gonna release and let my arms pull my toes toward me. This is lengthening my calves. It's a nice, safe way to lengthen your calf from a seated position. Now let's press down and hold for about 5 seconds, pressing through the toes toward the ground. Again, the heel is still on the ground. And then I'm going to release and let the toe come toward the knee, pulling with my arms to make that happen. Let's do that one more time. Push, 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 push. Then release and lengthen. 2 very simple exercises to work the front and the back of the lower leg. Very important to keep a part of your daily routine. Another final important drill more than anything to remember is just simply move your ankles. We spend time sitting every day. Make use of that time. Rolling the ankles in different direction, bringing them side to side, an eversion and inversion, up and down, Get those ankles moving constantly. And you can do the other one. Obviously, you want to get them both. Okie doke. So that's it for now. Really working the lower legs, keeping the ankle mobile, of which works these muscles. You're working all these leg muscles to do this movement of the ankle. Super important. Hey guys, let's talk about your hamstrings. Your hamstrings are the muscles on the back of your legs, and they're often weaker and they're often tight. So we usually have pretty good control and access to our quad muscles, the ones on the front, but then the ones on the back get neglected. And when we sit a lot, they're contracted, and so therefore they get tight. Tight hamstrings are often the reason for a lower back pain. Weakened hamstrings and weakened glute muscles often can contribute to poor posture and low back pain as well. So let's do good for ourselves and strengthen those hamstrings and those glute muscles. Now, how that's going to happen is a simple, safe exercise, either lying on the floor or lying in your bed. If lying in your bed is better for you, then take that option. You can do this before you get out of bed in the morning, in fact, several times, and then before you go to sleep at night several times, and then maybe in the middle of the day several times. Or you can get on the floor, which has many benefits in itself. If you know me, you know those benefits. And you can get a little bit more because of the solid surface of the floor. Now let's get right to it. I'm going to go to the side and we're going to go ahead and lie down. I'm turning to the side so you can see me better and so I can see you better. We want to make sure the shoulders are on the ground, both sides. If you need a pillow behind your head to relax your head, you go right ahead. From here, our knees are bent and our feet are going to be like maybe hip width apart. Again, make sure you're just comfortable. That's the ideal position. Just comfortable knees, your feet are flat on the ground, your heels are down, your toes are down, shoulders are on the ground. And then we're simply going to bring our belly buttons to the ceiling, push those belly buttons as far up as we can by squeezing the butt muscles and pushing the heels and the toes into the ground. Maybe you can get a little higher. And then we're going to slowly roll down. Now you're going to feel a stretch in your quads and your hip flexors and your core when you do this. And you're going to squeeze those butt muscles as tight as possible. And you're going to push through the floor with your toes and your heels. And you're going to strengthen those hamstrings and those glutes. And then roll down. Let's do that 3 more times. Lift the belly button, push through your feet, your heels, lift higher even than you maybe think you can. And then slowly lower. 2 more times. Up, 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 up. Squeeze everything you got. And then slowly lower. And 1 more time. Now, I like going slow. Slow is harder. Slow means more muscle over momentum. Slow shows that you have control and you're not letting gravity take over. And there's less risk of injury when you go slow and controlled. So keep them slow. Keep doing that every day. My recommendation is to do at least 20 times a day. You can do 20 in a row or break it up into a few different sets. Totally up to you. So, like keeping strong hamstrings and strong glute muscles is important, so is keeping them flexible. Now, the back side of your legs, whether it's your calves and your hamstrings, your glutes, will tie into your lower back as well when it comes to flexibility. So when we stretch the back of your legs, we're going to get some added benefits from lower back stretch. But we also want to be very careful. We're never going to strain or go through pain or any kind of pinching when we stretch. So I just want to begin with that caution. All stretch should feel good. You go to your in range of motion. You never strain, you never push through pain, and there is no pinching when it comes to stretch. If you feel any of that, stop and come out of it, okay? We also want to make sure to maintain a nice breath when we're stretching. So to get the back side of the body, one of the simplest ways to stretch out your hamstrings and your calves your glutes and your lower back is to sit down on the floor and try to back up against a wall. We want to try to get as close to the wall as possible. We can just scoot ourselves back and lift or just keep our body nice and straight. This takes away from having to support yourself with your core muscles, to have to use your arms to keep your spine lifted. And then you can just move your toes forward and back to get some dynamic stretch in the back of the legs. Perhaps sitting here is enough for you, and maybe just scooting closer to the wall is where you need to be today. Remember, no pain, no strain. Just breathe through the stretch. And if you can start to move those toes by pointing them and pulling them towards your knees, that's a good progression. Another great progression can be to start to lean your body forward away from the wall. Your backside is touching the wall, but maybe your chest can come forward a little bit. Maybe you need to grab behind your legs or your calves to help with that. Or maybe you get a strap or a resistance band or a towel, and you just pull yourself a little bit. That's a good thing to do as well. But keep in mind the rule: no strain, no pain, no pinching, just stretch. You also want to stay breathing. Please do not hold your breath when you stretch. Just maintain a slow, soft breath. That is a good stretch. You can do single-legged if it feels better for you. Put your one knee can be bent, the other one straight. That works great as well. You can do a little bit of a exertion and relaxation drill where you push into the resistance band and count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax the toes and pull the toes toward the knee. Maybe add a little forward fold. That's a great way to stretch, sort of a self-assisted PNF. You can push, contract for about 5 seconds, then relax and pull. That's a great one, and make sure, of course, you get the other side. Those are fantastic ways to get to the back of the leg. Now, another progression could be to lie down, and I'm going to go to this side and lie down so you can see me okay. To lie down, and we can grab the back of the thigh, and we can just pull the knee to the chest initially. This is going to stretch out your glute, your butt muscle. So just pulling the knee to the chest. I oftentimes see people pulling on the knee, and this is no problem as long as your knee feels okay about this. Otherwise, one way to take the pressure off the knee is to hold behind the thigh. From here, you can try to push your foot into the ceiling. This is nice because it stabilizes the back. If you're able to, you can grab at your calf and pull the knee toward the chest a little bit more. You can soften the knee if you need. And then really maybe try to lengthen the leg. Just, again, remember the principles, no pain, right? And a final progression can be to grab your towel or your strap or your resistance band, put it underneath the foot, and allow that to help support the pull and the stretch. Good stuff, good stretching. Another way to get some more glute muscle activation is to kind of cross the center line with the leg, but just be careful. We just don't want to pull again. Just do what feels right. Stretching is awesome. All right, friends, happy stretching, happy breathing through the stretch. You're gonna feel better, you're gonna feel freer. It's a great thing to do some stretching on a regular basis for that body. I'll talk to you soon. Hey friends, pretty please subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so that you can be alerted when new videos come out. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.